Hi guys. Back a while ago, I had packaged up raw fleece for shipping in hopes of selling it, but it turns out that the shipping rules for raw fleece are ridiculous, and I'm not willing to jump into it. However, you can sell clean fleece and ship it, no problem, but it has to be clean. So all my lovely packages of wool will need to be washed before they can ship. And if I'm going to wash it, I'm going to dye it. So I'm going to start here with Fiss, who's a raw Clun forest. Now, because these were all vacuum packed very quickly, they shouldn't be too hard to get the lanolin out. Here's hoping. So I'm going to see, these are all measured into 100 grams. So I think I'm just going to push through. I got my 3-pot setup, so I've got wash, second wash, rinse, and then it's going to go into a pan for dyeing, and I'm going to just see how much of this I can get through today. I'll get my stove fired up for the dyeing portion. Oh, hold on. Bubba wanted to say hi. Say hi, Bubba. He's my little sweetie pie. He's like, no, put me down. You know I don't like being held. Okay. I put him in his water dish. That's what he was coming up for. So I'm going to get kettles boiling and I'll get washing. I'll bring you back for the dye portion because you don't need to see me wash fleece. It's pretty standard. So I'll get that going and then I'll come back for the dye portion. See you in a bit. All right. We have our first batch washed. Now what I have in here is periwinkle, and what I'm going to add, I'm going to put all my fleece on the bottom here. I'm probably going to do 3 of them, and then I will top it off with some olive. So this is the Acme acid dye. So there's the periwinkle, there's the olive. So I'm going to wait until I have more fleece, otherwise this one's just going to suck up all that dye. But I will be back when it's time to add the fleece. All right, so we have 300 grams of washed fiber. I'm going to plop this in. There we go. Okay. So that's soaking up all the water in the dye in the bottom. And I have some more heated water. Okay. I'll get some more water heating. And we're going to push this down. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, we got that going. We're going to grab our olive. Wow, this is like red. How does this become olive? I guess we'll find out. I don't think it's olive though. We're just going to roll with whatever color we get. It does turn olive. Look at that. Wow. That's amazing. I love it when it doesn't look like the color it says it is until you blend it and it's like somehow those dye powders come together and make this. That's so cool. Okay, so we're going to add some more citric acid. I'm still wigging out about that reddy orange turning olive. That's wow, bizarre. Definitely need some more water. So I've got that heating. There we go. Now it's starting to spread around a bit. I mean, I want low immersion, but this is like no immersion, and we don't want that. The fleece did come out nice and white, so I'm hoping it'll be a nice dye. Ooh, there's lots there. Let's get some of that spread out. There. So I added a 1/4 cup of citric acid to this. Okay. Let's see how this is doing now. Ah, perfect. I think periwinkle and olive is going to work. Don't freak out. I know it seems like a rather odd blend, but I think it's going to work. And if it doesn't, well, I'll blend it out and then it will work. Okay, so I'm going to cover this, pop it in the oven for 15 minutes, and we'll see how it's doing. Back in a bit. Let's see how we're doing. Ooh, it's got some really nice orangey tones in it that I didn't really expect, but I guess I should have from how red the dye looked in the can. I like that olive. There's a little bit of an orange tinge left in there. We'll let that run out. Oh, there's some that escaped. So there is the periwinkle and olive. Here's a really good look at it. Not sure how I feel about it. I love the periwinkle and I love the olive, but I don't know that I love them together. But I thought I would give it a shot. I actually expected the olive to be more brown, which would have looked better with the periwinkle. But I'm okay with it. So I think that's enough cooking. There's only a little bit of dye left in there, so I'm just going to let it cool in the pan, which should soak up the last of that dye. And then we'll get it washed and dried, and we'll set it out, and we'll see, just making sure that dye is actually absorbed. Yep. And then we'll see what the final color is and how we can use it. It's got a lot of oranges in it. That's really interesting. Anyways, I'm going to let that cool, wash it up, set it out to dry, and we'll be back. We have our fiber all washed out and out to dry, and I'm liking it better now. It looks like iris flowers. It's got like the periwinkle and some tints of orange and some green for the leaves. I think it is very, very iris, which is really nice. I kind of like that. So I'm going to just look at this. We got some fibers from that last fleece I did that Borere stuck in there. So I'm going to comb up and spin some of this. Now it is still damp, so that's, in my opinion, the perfect time to comb, because then you don't get static. So I'm literally just going to sit at the wheel. I'm going to comb and spin right off the combs, because I can do that and I like to do that. So I will set you up and we're going to spin up some samples. Yay! I'm actually really happy with this. And the Clun Forest is a really fluffy fiber. And it actually takes the dye pretty darn good. I'm quite happy with it. I didn't use a whole lot of dye, so yes, it's very muted colors for the most part, but that's kind of what I wanted. Anyways, I'll stop babbling and get spinning. You can see as I was spinning, I picked out the olive, predominantly olive, and combed that and spun it. Then I picked out predominantly the periwinkle and spun that. And then I did a blend of the two. So you can see how the colors differ according to how you group them. Now, if you really want this and this look, then you should dye a batch of this, dye a batch of this, and then spin them separately. I kind of like this sort of cool tone that's going on here. But we're going to chain ply this so we can get a better look at how the colors are going to look next to each other and individually. So let's do that. So here it is plied up. We have the golden brown, the periwinkle, and the blend. Even the blend looks kind of cool. Don't mind the noise, Bobo's climbing his tower. But I think we're going to do a quick sample with this and see how it looks like when it's worked up. So let me get my equipment and we'll do that. We have here our knitted swatch. So you can see this is the predominantly olive green section. Trying to get it without shadows. So it is lovely. Then the predominantly periwinkle section. And there's the blend. And it makes this interesting. It almost has like a bronzy hue to it with the mix of the colors. I'm not mad at it. It doesn't really have a name that I can think of. But it does look really cool. It's got like a, here, let's block out these colors. And it's got like this silvery overcast to this bronzy olive green. I think it looks kind of cool. But regardless, I like these colors together. As I will say, I was a little nervous after I added the colors to the pan. I was like, this probably isn't going to work. But now that I see it worked up, I think it works. So that's it for our first 300 grams of Fliss, our Clun forest. And we will wash and dye some more as time goes on. I'm going to have to get all this combed up. But for now, this is what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And thanks for joining me. I shall see you in the next one. Dr. Chaos out.